Alrighty, gang. Let's see if the audio's working. It shows on my screen that it's working, but I gotta make sure I trust it. Gotta trust it, man. We are back. Excellent connection. Let's hope it stays that way, cause I'm. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Let's see how it goes. Let's hope it stays that way. Oh, come on now. That's crispy. That's crispy. What's up, gang? Welcome. This is a slightly. I don't know if you noticed, but it's a slightly different angle of the setup. New setup, let's go! Yes! Let's go! So, actually, I think we should do our due diligence before we start. What's up, gang? We're gonna vlog with the webcam. It's gonna be epic gamer moment. So, what up, gang? Welcome to another live vlog. Nah, it's already clear on this end. Good, because it can actually function. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna show the setup real quick, just for the gamers out there who want to see it. This is such a funny little angle. Anyway, so we've got the PC, brand spanking new, bought it yesterday. Got the epic new gamer mouse, the epic gamer keyboard, and the stream. Look at this. It's a loop of. Whoa, that's cool. That's funky. Yeah, super excited. I stayed up till about 4 o'clock this morning, editing the vlog, because I had to set the new PC up and had to re-download some stuff and learn how to use it and this and that and the other thing, and it was just it was a whole event. Dog, Chloe says, dog. What? What's up, dog? Ah! I'm so psyched about it, dude. Editing with a machine that actually functions properly it's mind-blowing, really. It is mind-blowing. I'm excited. You stayed up so late. Bruh, I know. Yeah, I stayed up really late, but it's cool. I woke up this morning officially at like 10 a.m. So I was like, bruh, my biological clock is just on crack. So, what I've been doing, oh, hello, this is a stream. What I've been doing this morning is, first of all, I only have one monitor now, because using the laptop was a built-in second monitor, so I only have one at the moment. But yeah, so we're gonna be rocking with flipping back and forth. So if I don't get to the chats, if I don't read the chats, because I don't have the second monitor yet, it's coming. So not to worry. But anyway, we have the new vlog. It's 12 minutes long, actually. What is this? It is, yeah, 12 and a half minutes. This is a second 12-minute video in a row that I've made. Super cool. I think it's really good. I'm really happy with this new video. So hopefully you guys think the same. Without further ado, gangsters, let us commence in the epicness that is director's commentary. I'm gonna see about replying to chats. Actually, I have the chat set up on my phone, so I can just watch it on my phone, and then we'll do the chat thing there. That way I don't have to ignore you guys. Alright, so we're gonna give it the old full screen action. Let's see how much of a delay that is compared to my phone. That's a few seconds, ain't too bad. Okay, let's get cracking. It is so clear, Chloe, you're right. It's really, really clear on my phone end too. Okay, I'm gonna do a little technical housekeeping type things just to make sure everything's cool.
For the next 24 hours, I am going to be only vlogging.
Okay, I guess my headphones are turned down.
With the GoPro HERO11. No, it's not just.
I'm only gonna be vlogging with the GoPro Hero. Oh, I didn't even close out Photoshop, bro. What the heck? Hold on. Technical difficulties. Okay. Alright, so let's get cracking. So, already I have something to say about this first bit. So, how I did the text on the screen. So, what I did was I took this initial clip, I saved it to my phone, and then, so how I usually do with my shorts, is I'll take the shorts onto my phone and I'll run it through CapCut on my phone. And that'll put the auto captions on there, so I don't have to sit there for hours and hours and hours and type out captions on my editing software. I can just do it with CapCut, and it's easy and it's free and all that stuff. So it's super cool. So I did that with this first clip because I didn't really feel like messing with the whole thing as far as like manually typing all the captions in. So without further ado, let's get crack-a-lackin'. with the official watching of the video.
For the next 24 hours, I'm going to be only vlogging with the GoPro HERO11. Now, it's not just going to be any regular old vlog. We're going to have a few rules and a few challenges along the way. Rule number 1, in this entire 24-hour period, I have to use every GoPro mount that I own. Rule number 2, I have to use every single feature available on the GoPro.
Something I was gonna do, for some reason I talked myself out of it, but I was going to every shot that was with a different feature of the GoPro, I was gonna label it, but I decided against that because I think my reason was I didn't want to take up a ton of real estate on the screen, because like especially with this intro, because I have the rules on there, I didn't want to, and just in general, I didn't want to take up a ton of screen real estate because I wanted you to be able to fully see the shot instead of have it be tampered with as far as like having text over it. So that was that.
GoPro HERO11. Rule number 3, be creative.
This is in my crock. What do you think? This was so much fun. I was just trying to think of a creative shot so that I could do this. I was like, put it in the crock, why not? And actually, I go back to this shot later on in the video, putting the GoPro in my shoe and then looking out, like have that looking out view. Oh, I thought that was really fun. And it's actually pretty sick. I mean, I don't know if you could tell it was a crock. You probably can't. I don't know. But I thought it was pretty sick. I enjoyed it. And put my foot in there.
Rule number 4, I have to do something that I have never seen done before with a GoPro.
It's the little things in life, right? So, when I got the new computer, I'll tell you exactly what happened. So, there's a shot, this right here. I had this sped up a ton. Poopy. I had this sped up a ton. And, you know, on the old laptop, it would not, I just had to trust that it was faster. I couldn't actually watch it back. But being able to watch it back and edit is so helpful because it actually gives me the feel for what it actually does and what it looks like. With everything else in full motion. Poopy! I didn't even mean to pause it there. There's also Benjamin over there, but he's not walking, so he's just kind of in the corner. But yeah, here's Poopy. It followed him. That's so much fun. I was like, legit, Chloe, no joke. I was sitting there in the edit, and I was like, I have to do this. I have to do this so Chloe can see it. And, hi, Poopy! Hi. Poopy's our cat, by the way. Look at him go.
So last night it rained a ton. Like,
bro, you can hear the ground squishing if you pay close attention. I didn't even think about that.
4 inches or something. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of fallen trees today. So the last time that I went out into the woods and made videos, I wanted to get a lot of creek footage, but the problem was, because of lack of rain, we didn't have any water. The creek.
This is footage from the last video I made comparing the GoPro to the ZV-1. Look how dry, dude, everything was so dry, and this was only like 2 weeks ago. And now it's just, squishy to no end. It's crazy.
We're dry. But I've just walked outside. I've been outside for like 5 minutes.
Look at that. Oh, look at that dude.
We didn't have any water. The creeks were dry. But I've just walked outside. I've been outside for like 5.
We got the dad shoes. We got the jeans, the tucked in t-shirt.
5 minutes.
Bro, come on.
You can hear how loud the creek is already.
Oh, okay. This shot right here. This is using GoPro HyperView. It's like a stupid wide lens. This is my favorite shot of the entire video right here. I'm small, down in the bottom center, and you can't see that I'm holding the camera, which is so cool. Like, you cannot tell I'm holding the camera because of how wide the lens is. So I can hold it at a certain angle to where it just looks like it's like a camera that's floating or on rails in front of me. I'm not operating it. But having that look up through the forest, it just, bruh, it's so cool to me. I did it in the last video, but I wanted to make this shot again because it's just beautiful. I love this shot a lot, and I'm very, very happy with it. I don't know, there's something about it. Very wide. Yes, wide. There's something about it. I think it's it really just accentuates the magnitude of the wilderness. I guess, I don't know. There's something to it that I just dig.
Sure.
And plus the music selection is just fabulous.
You can hear how loud the creek is already. Sure enough.
The wilderness must be explored. Speaking of Russell, where is he?
We have water.
Oh man. So many frames. The that slow-mo shot on the GoPro was shot in 120 frames per second, which is stupidly high frame rate. That's how you get the slow-mo, is you have that super high frame rate, and when you slow that down, it's super detailed in each frame. It's crazy. So like how that works is if you gotta have a super high frame rate, frames per second, to get a super slow-mo shot, and then if you want something to be super fast, you gotta have a super low frame rate. It's like 24 frames per second makes for good time lapses, whereas 120 frames per second isn't as ideal for time lapses, but it's more ideal for slow-mo. The quiet chaos of the creek water.
So during that slow-mo shot, the GoPro actually overheated and turned off, which I think is the first time it's actually done that.
That's wild. That is wild.
The creek gets really quiet up here, or down here, I guess. It got really quiet because it's not as heavy of a flow.
It's kind of crazy, actually, in real life, how that was. Like, I got past a certain point, and it was just, I mean, you could just feel how quiet it got, because the water sort of leveled out, and it kind of got a less of a heavy flowing down the way. I used like 7 or 8 different music tracks in this video. It's pretty cool. Epidemic sound is clutch, dude. Oh yeah, the underwater. Oh yeah, this right here, where it's like when it's like half above and underwater. I love it when it's like coming up. You can kind of see halfway. Also, this was so much fun. This shot right here. I was like, trying to think of something creative to do with it, and so I just like wedged it against a couple of rocks so it didn't flow away, and then it just was looking up underwater. And then, like, this is so sick. And you would think that there's a cut, like between where it's this and then out of the water. You would think there's a cut between there, but there isn't. Like, it looks like some kind of animated transition or something. It's just simply not. That's just how it is.
So I mentioned earlier how it rained.
I had to change shirts, fun fact. I don't know if anybody noticed this in the video, but I changed shirts because, so the shirt that I was wearing was just like a, cotton shirt, t-shirt, whatever the heck. And this blue one is like, it's like a dry fit, because it was so unbelievably humid, and I was so sweaty, and it was horrible. I was miserable in that other t-shirt, so I just changed shirts in the mid-video.
Rained a ton last night.
Speed.
And as a result of a heavy rain, this tends to get really flooded. It'll run from up there in that field all the way down, and since there's terrible drainage through here, it'll end up going all the way up the road. And with all of that said, usually my little bitty car has a hard time getting out.
More speed. I cut it out of the video, but as I was going down, let's see, it wasn't this time. That dang creek, dude, I'm telling you what.
Time getting
out. I cut it out of the video, but on the way down, I actually found a pair of pliers out in the middle of the road. So, I got a free pair of pliers. It's pretty cool.
This building right here behind me used to be a huddle. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
It's not anymore. So I've parked up here, and the plan is.
It's not anymore. I dropped the GoPro, and I was saying that.
Here behind me used to be a huddle. It's not.
So like that, it kind of got, covered up, but. Yeah, no, it was funny. So I had it on the suction cup mount. What the? Excuse me, gang. No, I had it on the suction cup, and it didn't quite suction cup all the way, so it fell off my car.
It's not anymore. So I've parked up here, and the plan is to shoot a time lapse of that skyline.
Oh, this time lapse is so good. We gotta go back.
Up here, and the plan is to shoot a time lapse of that skyline.
I was listening to my boy Evan do the clouds in this one. It's crazy, isn't it? Let's go back. It's so awesome whenever, like, I'll shoot a time lapse and there's clouds going in one direction, and then there'll be some more come in from a different direction, and they'll like overlap and they'll weave over each other. It's so sick.
That skyline.
And there's also the different types of clouds too. Yeah, my boy Evan on the YouTube. I was watching him listening while I was driving to Walmart. Pretty dope. He's been coming out with some epic videos lately, so check him out. He's been on his 2-a-week grind. Also, let me just say, so I had the GoPro on my dash mount right here, and then I saw how pretty the sky was looking, and so I took it off, and then just held it over, and look how still that image is. Like it was like a reach over, boom, and then hold it. And obviously it's got a stupidly good image stabilizer, but it was just, wow, it was really good, I thought. And it looked like it was cut somewhere. Wow, man. Wow, man! Go get some GoPro gear, security cameras. I love that for some reason. This particular... I've done this shot before. I think I didn't comment this, but there was a time where I heard you were listening to Different by the Academic. Yes, yes. Yeah, I was bopping, dude. It was epic. Wow, Merit. I love this shot where I open up the microwave and look inside. I've done this before at Walmart, but I wanted to do it again because I love it. And there's a montage at the end where I'm metaphorically looking for the most creative GoPro shot. And there's a lot I want to say about that because it's my favorite part of the whole video. So stay tuned for later because we're gonna talk about that when it comes up to this. Oh yeah, the GoPro equipment. I want to get, there's this little guy right here next to my booty. There's Casey. It's a case. It's big and it holds all your GoPro crap. I want to get me one of those at some point. I said, I don't know if my Neistat. I said, got a little. I was like, man, this is kind of crazy expensive, bro.
I could spend my entire life savings on camera gear, dude. I won't,
true.
But I could. Okay, I was
go shopping for camera gear. There's a comment that says go shopping for camera gear. Ends up with donuts.
Good, and I didn't actually end up getting any GoPro gear as much as I wanted to. I did. But what I did get is
donuts.
A pack of donuts. Why, you may ask?
Oh,
because I can. So we've got.
Yes, sir. Because I can. That was literally the only reason for it. I kind of, it was funny. I looked at it and I actually walked past them in the store, and I was like, that'd be funny for the video. So I turned back around and picked them up, and I was like, I could just say I would just make a funny joke about it.
Got about 18 hours left to get all the GoPro shots that I need to get. And where I was set up earlier was a pretty good vantage point as far as
transition. You know that music starts, it's coming up to the next scene. Don't you worry.
Getting a time lapse. I want to find an even better spot for the vehicle lights feature. I might use that spot that I was.
I just saw my reflection in the PC, the glass. I'm like, hey, what's good, man?
But I might probably try and find an even better location.
Bro, the salsa was hitting so good this day, bro. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, man. Oh, bro. That looks so good. That looks so good, dude. Man. Dude. Man. Bro, look at that. I pounded that plate of nachos, dude. I pounded it. It was so good. Bruh. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. That's... Sheesh. Oh. Oh yeah, dude was smacking. I was chowing down. It was so good.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Oh my, that looks kind of creepy. I said, arrgh, arrgh, matey. Sheesh. Spinning down the drain.
Sunset is at 8:10 p.m.
8:10 p.m. Yeah, you can see that. Look at this.
Here's the thing. Sunset is...
Yeah, that's so amazing. The thing about the GoPro that I have trouble with is, like, I don't know how it focuses. Like, does it even focus at all? Or does it just kind of have, like, a mid-level focus on everything? Like, that's kind of my thought. Or maybe it's facial recognition. Or maybe it's nothing. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is. But it's just, it never focuses well. That's one of my gripes about the GoPro is it just doesn't, I don't know. I just feel like it should focus better. But it also isn't meant for things of that nature, so I need to keep that in mind. But still, it's just one of my things. I'm like, bruh. For an experiment such as this, having a decent focus would be handy.
Is at 8:10 p.m. tonight. So I've basically got an hour and a half until sunset. And here's another thing. I think I mentioned earlier about how it was supposed to storm tonight. Judging by...
I didn't. I did, but I cut it out. And I failed to cut out this part where I talked about it, but like, it doesn't matter. I had to bring it up at some point because there's got to be a reason to not have things. But yeah, no, I was like, oh, I think I mentioned it. No, you didn't. Sorry, buddy, you didn't.
By this, it doesn't appear that it's gonna be started.
Yeah, this was really annoying. Okay, so this day, the day I was recording this was, actually that was Thursday. And it was stupid because on Thursday night it was really cloudy, and Friday night was really cloudy. Both nights were the nights that I would have been acceptable to like record that Star Trail footage, and actually be able to put it in the video. I got home at like 4:15 this morning after being done with the edit. And I tell you what, it was the clearest night I've seen in weeks. It's bogus. Oh, wow. I just saw the tweet. Mr. Beast, his new video broke the world record for most views in 24 hours by a non-music video. Wow, that's crazy. That's some wild stuff, bro. That's some crazy stuff, dude. Mr. Beast is on one, dude. That's wild. Also, I've got intentions of going through and replying to all the comments on the new video. I just have not done it yet. So not to worry, gangsters. Also, new video as of the first 2 hours and 42 minutes. It's 3 of 10, only behind the concert vlog and the last video. So it's not doing too bad. Okay, anyway, let's carry on.
Anytime soon, which is good. It'll be 1 a.m. before it starts, and I'll be asleep by then. But,
bruh, I was asleep by then, but not the day after that. There's a lot of things.
That poses an issue and a problem because I can't get Star Trails that I'm aware of while it's storming. The storm is going to cause some trouble, I think. But I think I can get around it. I think I can make it work.
Something that's so cool, let me go back to this, that just happened. Listen to the music and look at my eyebrows, because it kind of was like my eyebrows went up and down on beat and it was really sick. Like they kind of did, kind of didn't, but like enough to where it could be the illusion of it.
But I think I can get around it. I think I can make it work.
Oh yeah. Basically, I'm gonna be honest, this is a thing that I don't think I've experienced before, at least I don't remember. I personally think, like this is my opinion, I like the second half of this video better. Like, as I went on, I think I just got better and better and better with the edits. I also think the cinematography was better in the second half. So like, if somebody who's watching makes it to about 5 minutes, they're cooking the rest of the video, they're chilling. But also I would love to just for people to watch the entire video, all the way through, twice. Nah. Look at that. Also, sorry, I gotta address that shot. Hyperview. Was that Hyperview or was that Superview? I don't know. It's one of the two super wide versions. But I had it set on my laptop, like, propped against the screen. This is such a cool shot to me. I love it. And that's, you know, that's something I was talking with Evan about in Discord. And we were referring to how like the super wide lens of the GoPro and how it's really effective at times and other times it's not effective at all. Like it's a very niche type of thing to have a wide lens like that, a super wide lens like that. And I think this shot and then that one in the woods, I think were the two that I really was happy with. That I felt like that wide lens aided that shot a lot. Like that shot doesn't exist without that super wide lens. So this one of the rare occasions where it actually is super functional.
It is about 8:40 p.m. My batteries are charged up. And
bro, I tell you what, it took so freaking long for those batteries to charge. I was upset.
It's time to go shoot.
Cause I was gonna go shoot at like 10 after 8, like when it was sunset, but the batteries weren't charging, and I finally said screw it and unplugged them when they weren't fully charged. It was the weirdest thing too, because the GoPro battery charger's got 2 ports, right? One for each battery. And one port, like one battery was charged 100%. Even though the light didn't say it was charged 100%. And then the other battery was only, like, it didn't charge at all. It was the weirdest thing. So maybe there's something to that. Maybe it only charges them one at a time, and then the lights come on when they're both charged. I don't know. It is what it is. It's whatever. Also, I was pleasantly surprised because when I compared the GoPro to the ZV-1, the GoPro kind of suffered in the low light settings, but in this video, it actually did pretty well with the low light settings. I was quite surprised. Pleasantly surprised, I should say.
Go shoot.
Also, when I was making this shot right here, when I needed the extra light so you could kind of see it and get some context into the shot, but 100%, like there's that meme out there. There's that meme where it's like, you know, the dad always be screaming at you for having the light on in the backseat or whatever. It's so facts, like it's true, because you can't see anything out of the back glass if that light's on. Not a thing. You cannot see a single thing. So it totally is justified. Like, I would get mad too. I would be like, bruh, turn that thing off. I cannot see. We're going to crash. Like, bruh. So I totally get it. So yeah, that's the thing. It's yeah, bruh.
So I'm uphill of an intersection that has relatively busy car traffic at this time. I think this is going to be a really good shot. So I've got an idea.
In fact, this is lit with my phone flashlight. My phone flashlight, low-key, came in super clutch for this entire video. I used it a bunch. So there's a shot later on I had it. There was the GoPro was in the freezer. But I wanted to be up because the freezer doesn't have a light that comes on when you open it. So I have my phone in there with the GoPro with the flashlight pointing out, so you could see the inside of the door when the freezer was closed. It was pretty sick. It was pretty ingenuitive on my part. Intuitive, innovative. I don't know.
I'm gonna use the mount on the side of my hood because there's a pole I'm right behind, but I should be really good as far as.
This was a fun experience.
Let's do that.
It was cool to me, like parking in these different places and getting these shots, because like I wasn't sure who was gonna come up to me and like if I was gonna get kicked out or whatever. There's like kind of a risk factor to it in a way, but also it was really exciting and kind of fun. So I was cool with it. I was down. It was a whole. What in the world? There's a hair on my keyboard. No, it was a whole vibe though.
Yeah, you'll see. Trust.
Oh yeah, Star Trails, or not Star Trails, but vehicle lights. Now, this was a thing. I had another vehicle lights shot, but it was terrible. It turned out way too bad. Because here's the problem I have. And obviously it looks super cool. But with all of these extra lights in town, with the street lights and the lights behind me and stuff, it was hard to sort of see the vehicle lights. Because like this intersection is so lit up, it's just white. So what I was thinking would be better, I never ended up doing this, but what I was in the edit, I was looking at it and I was assessing the situation. And what would be better is if I took the GoPro on the vehicle light setting out to a random stretch of highway that was not lit, but it still had heavy traffic. So all the lights you would see at all would be of the cars driving by. So it would be a much more vibrant situation. Like you'd get a lot more of the headlight colors and there's just the red and the whites and the yellows and stuff. As opposed to this, like, it still looks super cool, don't get me wrong, but there's a glow about it because there's just so many other lights going on at the same time that aren't moving. so it's harder to kind of get the effect of the vehicle lights. But it still looks cool regardless. That's just my, like, having shot it, that's my nitpick of it. Especially if you look over to the left, it looks really sick. Because that area is not as lit, see? So if you can't really see them in the intersection. You can kind of see the motion, but you can't really see like the actual. Wait, this just goes to show how busy that intersection was at, like, this was probably 9:30 at night, like between 9 and 9:30. It was, you know, nighttime, but it was busy. I went home and tried out the light painting. This is the coolest thing. It's kind of annoying because I never really like made a transition between this and the light painting. I just kind of like, in real life, I just shot and then went to the next thing. I didn't really vlog it, but like, whatever. It is what it is. I thought this one was really cool because like I kind of just like scribbled randomly, whatever. But I thought it was cool because you could see my legs. And I think that is a kind of a, it feels really dope. Because, I don't know, something about it is just really cool to me. That you can see my legs and it's me standing there doing it. Oh yeah. So there's a couple of different modes of this light painting. So there's the super long trails. So like the light lasts a super long time, so it's like a marker. And then there's after this, there's this one where it fades away. So it's like super short. So it's like that, it fades instead of staying on the screen. The heart, I think, was one of my favorites. It wasn't, obviously it doesn't look perfect, like it was not a very good heart drawing, but I think that's the charm of it. I think it looks super sick because it's imperfect, and it's a light painting, it's super, super cool. And then of course, I thought that was so funny. The timing of that was hilarious because it was right before the beat drop. So you're like, oh wow, this is sick. And you're like, wait, what's that? Oh! And then the beat drops. Boom! And then you have this super cool landscape I drew. Look at that. We got a hillside. And then we have the sun. And then these are supposed to be sun rays. But I had the line, it was all one line, so I just had to do what I could. But here's the sun, this is the sun rays, and then this is a tree. And that, yeah. Whoa, what did I do? What did I just do? Oh wait, I accidentally muted it. That's what happened. That, dude, sub. I wrote sub. That's so sick, dude. Hold on. That's hilarious. This is so funny. The 12-year-old in me is laughing so hard. That was so sick. I tried that. It probably took me like 5 or 7 takes to get this right, because I kept writing it backwards. In real life, I had to wave the thing backwards in order for it to show up correctly on the screen. But it turned out so good. And all that, again, all of that was my phone flashlight. So again, the phone flashlight coming in super, super clutch here. It was a big player in this video. It's so funny. All right, here we go. Okay, I want you guys to pay super close attention to this montage because it is so much fun. Literally the next like 5 to 10 seconds is simply just me putting my shoes on, but with the GoPro being so small, you have access to like all the little nooks and crannies of life, and it's so beautiful. So beautiful to see it. All the things you can do.
Yesterday when I bought these donuts, it was impulsive and it kind of just was for no reason. But it's actually proven to come in clutch because it's 10 a.m. right now. The challenge ends at noon. Pretty much all I have to do now is get a GoPro shot that I have never seen before. But this, I think, is going to be the hardest part of this challenge, is finding out something that I can do with my means that I've never seen done before with a GoPro HERO11. It's about 10:20 a.m. Got about an hour and a half-ish. Using this funky ball swivelly type of mount is, I think, the last mount that I have to use. I have to double check my bag. That's what we're working with right now.
Yeah, it rained that day. It was raining all day, so we got the creek kind of went up a little bit, which was cool, because here we go.
See how it's up higher today. We're doing an impromptu GoPro mount creation. We're making a GoPro mount out of nowhere. I just had an idea. Hopefully this doesn't tear up the GoPro. This might prove to be a terrible mistake, but hey, we're going.
Yeah, okay. The video doesn't do it justice because I did a poor job of recording this situation. But
A mistake.
I was putting that adhesive mount on. First of all, the car was wet, so I had to wipe it off with my shirt. Or my shorts, whatever. And at the same time, the angle of it was weird, so it didn't really stick that well. Like, the mount actually didn't stick that well to the car, so it was like half stuck on there. And that's why I was so worried that it would tear up the GoPro, because I was worried I would hit a bump or something, and the mount would just fall off and the GoPro would end up in the creek, which would have been a cool shot, but I would have had to dig it out.
But hey, we're going.
360 horizon lock coming in clutch, because this thing was basically hanging upside down. Fun fact, this shot. That's how deep my car got, because this thing was like hanging off my front bumper. Okay. So, what was I gonna say? Fun fact about this video. That shot right there with me driving through the creek, that is the longest shot in the entire video that doesn't have a cut. Like, that was just one solid clip. There was no cuts in the middle of that. That was the longest one of the entire video by far. Okay, everyone, again, pay attention, because this is awesome. This is something I want to show everyone. This is the coolest thing. So, I transition into a sequence where there's no music in the background, but there's just general rain sound effects. I want you to pay super close attention, and then I'm going to go back and talk about it. So, did you notice that? There was, so the windshield wiper was going, right here, it cuts. So that is two separate clips. It's literally just windshield wiper, boy, yes sir. That was a jump cut, but it looks like a super smooth, like fancy transition, but it's not. It's just hiding the cut with the wipers. And that was something, when I was editing it last night, I was sitting here editing it, and I did that, and I watched it back. I was like, oh my goodness, because it was so awesome. I was so happy with it. We're gonna watch it back again. We're literally gonna watch it back again. Dude, that is the smoothest, bro. Oh my gosh. That's the Casey Neistat approach to editing. Is if they know there's a cut, you've done it wrong. You gotta hide the cuts. He doesn't use any fancy transitions or anything. It's all jump cuts, and everything's just hidden. Like, that is so. Oh my gosh. I can watch it over and over. I'm gonna watch it over and over. Because okay. And there was a lot of good things about this, because this sequence, again, there wasn't music, so there was that element was cut out of it. It's supposed to feel very basic and very sort of boring, mundane. That's the intention of this section. And the cool part of it is that cut, where you kind of like, okay, and then cuts to the next thing. So it's like supposed to be a little more interesting in that regard. It's making the boring interesting, right? It's just making the boring things of life interesting. That's all that is. I can watch it over and over. It's so satisfying. So satisfying. And this is when you just get that timeline. Evan, you know this. You get that timeline, you just blow it up real big, and you go like frame by frame, and you just cut until it's like matched up perfectly. To where it's like the wiper goes like, whoom, whoom, and then it cuts between here and here. So it's just perfectly smooth. Oh my gosh. I love editing videos, bro. It's so cool. it's so cool. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's the movie magic, bro. That's movie magic right there. This shot was super cool. Let's talk about this shot. Also, fun fact, it's going to be in the August bloopers, but That right there. That I actually dropped the GoPro and it landed in my lap. It landed in my lap. We'll just say that. So yeah, that's gonna be in the blooper reel because there was a clip where I said I was like that I dropped my GoPro and it hit me in the balls. That's gonna be for the August bloopers. So in August, so that'll be several months from now when that August bloopers actually come out. Just join the Patreon for bloopers and funny things. So yeah, okay, hold on, everything, hold on. So this is the shot I got right now, the establishing shot. This little section of white lattice right over here, I'm circling it with my cursor. I don't know if you can see it, but this little section of white lattice is where the next shot is set up. The GoPro is propped like in this little bottom section, just such a way to where it sees through the lattice and you can see the doorknob. So it took me minutes to set this up. I had it propped such a way to where you can, through this piece, I'm pointing like you can see it, through this piece you can see exactly what's going on. So it cuts from here, it cuts from this to being seen down there. Because it's like, well, where could you set the camera up next? This is where it is. This is the result of taking some extra time and setting the shots up, making sure they're perfect. Because this, I thought it was very, very sick. And I did a little zoom as well, just kind of a little pan, because it was a little too still for my liking. Oh, this next, bro, the coffee montage is one of, I'm telling you guys, about 5 minutes on, like the second half of this video is my favorite. I love it so much. I love the montagey type stuff though. I don't know why, I just am drawn to B-roll and stuff. It's just so sick. So this was my coffee jar. It was sitting in the dish drainer, open side down. I had the lens of the GoPro. Like I had the jar sat on top of the GoPro in such a way to where the lens was shooting straight up the gut, and then the jar was just like sitting on top of the GoPro. And then Evan says, "Getting better and better with the edits. Keep it up, man." Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. The GoPro makes it so much fun to like. It makes it so easy because the camera is so small and so durable to like get these really cool shots and then edit them together in a fun way. So this is looking up the GoPro. I'm walking up and I'm gonna grab it, and then essentially the exact opposite. I have the GoPro inside of the mason jar, so you can see my hand. I'm like walking it up. And then I took there's a mount that's like it's like a little thing, and you like screw it on. It basically it attaches to like poles and rods and stuff. I had it attached to the espresso handle or thingy. I don't even know what this is called. I had it attached to that. Grinding up the beans and then the stuff and then putting it in, and then I flipped the camera, so I turned it off and I switched it to 360 horizon lock, and I flipped that upside down, so you got this shot right here. So it's still attached to this the exact same way. I just flipped it upside down. And then get the shots pulled. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I made these in the shorts a while back and they went stupid. They got so many views, it was ridiculous. And then this, I have the mason jar, like so, and here's the GoPro. My fist is the GoPro, this jug is the jar. The GoPro is set up in such a way, these two fingers are the lens, and then there's like an indentation in the center of the jar. So I had that lens, the jar was balanced on the lens of the GoPro, so that it was centered in the circle, because the jar is a circle, right? There's like circles in the bottom so you can like see it. In the GoPro was centered. The jar was centered on top of the lens of the GoPro to where you got that square shot. And then I poured coffee in from the top, so like you can kind of see it's distorted already. And then I pour it in, and it just covers it up, and it turns to black. And then it's so good, dude.
We have less than an hour left until the 24 hours.
I love it. I've done that shot before, but I think this time I did it, it was perfect. Like, it was exactly what I wanted. Brent, what's up, man? Coffee. Yes, sir.
What's up? And I still have not found the
I had my coffee this morning. It was so good. It's amazing.
Shot that I have never seen before. Unless I've already made it by accident.
Okay. This is the best sequence in the entire video, in my most humble opinion. So everyone, stop what you're doing and watch this. So I'm establishing the next few seconds of the video. I'm sitting here. I'm like, okay. Only thing I gotta do now is find the GoPro shot that I've never seen before. And so this entire next montage is me metaphorically looking for the best GoPro shot that I've never seen before.
Shot that I have never seen before. Unless I've already made it by accident.
Oh! Dude, this feels genius, dude. Okay, I gotta walk you through. That one's gonna take us like a movie, bro. Okay, so we'll take you through shot by shot. Do the shot by shot analysis. So, all of the shots share the same theme in that I'm looking. I'm like searching for something, right?
Made it by accident.
So this initial one, I'm watching YouTube. You see, I'm looking at something. What is he looking at? This is what I'm watching. And you see, this is very, very detailed. GoPro HERO11 creative shots is in the search bar. So I found this video and I watched it. And then this is what I was talking about earlier, how I have my phone and the GoPro set up in the freezer. The phone was acting as the flashlight, so I could see the inside of the freezer while it was closed. And then looking in the freezer, on beat, boom, open the fridge, in the lunchbox. And this is in the closet, it's dark. There's a lantern, so I use that for like a low light type of shot. This is cool because it's kind of like a mysterious sort of. I have the lantern next to my face. You can kind of see half lit, looking on like sort of looking around. And then this is in a drawer. This is in a cup. I'm just walking around. 360 horizon lock on the end of a stick next to my feet. This shot is to intentionally give you that sense of like we're running out of time. It's urgent. Like I gotta find this shot, right? This was so cool. Bro, this is one of the underrated bops of this sequence. So there's like a carpet out there, and it's like a rug. Okay, it's rolled up and it's standing like a cylinder, right? It's like this. I was like, ooh. I stuck the GoPro underneath it, and then I had it shooting up, right? And I looked down at the GoPro. But it's so cool. It's like a, I don't know what to call it. It's almost like a giant vignette. Because it's like all the way around. It's just like a little egg shape, and my head peeps through there. And then this is behind a picture frame on a shelf. And it's just, random spot, But I'm like peeking here and there, looking around. And this, you never guess where this one is. This one, oh shoot. This is, I have the GoPro on the back of the toilet seat. It's like shooting upside down, and it's really wide, so you can see a lot. I had to crop it in to get it to look right. But I was like, the trash can. The trash can? Nah, brother, this is the toilet. This is the toilet right here. That's what this is. Unless I made a trash can shot that I don't remember. But no, this is the toilet for sure. The toilet. Yeah, so I lifted up the toilet lid and I was like, ugh. Looked in there and I'm like, that ain't it. Okay, that's the best one. One of the best ones. See ya. Oh, you're good, man. So, yeah, we have the toilet, and in the next shot, it's in my running shoe. Again, this is the third time I've used that shoe shot, but it's just so good. I thought it was a trash can with those white lids. Oh, you're good. Nah, it's the toilet with that white lid, bro. But, okay, so it's in my running shoe. I grab it. I cut to a different shot. This is... Ah! So satisfying. Watch this again. When it goes... Da, da, da. Oh. Bro, that's just... Dude, come on. That's just perfect. That's perfect. Dude, come on. Ah! And that was one of those things 100% unintentional. It just happened that way. Dog. come on. And then I had it behind books. This was really cool too. I gotta watch. I'm sorry, I gotta watch it again. It's so good. That is so unbelievably satisfying. I cannot even, bro. It's so good. It's so good. I'm sorry. I'm watching it again. Again, with the wide shot on the end of the stick, this time you can kind of tell a little bit more. But I wanted to do that similar thing where it was like you couldn't quite tell I was holding on to it, so it looks like there's somebody actually shooting me with the camera. And so this right here I cut. So using Epidemic Sound, like Evan and I have talked about in our podcast, you could download the stems. So like that original, like back here, this is the full song. It's got the melody, the instruments, what have you. It has all the elements attached. But what I did was, when it goes from here, I faded out the instruments, the instrumentation, like the strings, and I just kept in the melody. The dun, 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 dun. I kept that in, so it kind of like went from super, super intense to quiet down a little bit. It's still the same vibe, it's still the same song, but I cut out the instruments part, so it's just the melody. And it's just sort of like a background. Brent says, I love that shot where it looks like you're not holding the camera. It's genius. Bro, ever since I figured that out, how to do that, it's just the coolest thing. It's actually, fun fact, I was watching, this is a story time. I'm gonna switch the screen for optimal story time environment. So, it was super funny how it worked. So, wow, chat went crazy. So how I actually came up with that shot, obviously didn't come up with it, I was inspired to do it, but how I was inspired to make that shot, I was with my dad and we were watching Beverly Hills Cop. And there was a particular shot in that movie where the guy was walking towards something, but the camera was like at his feet almost, and it was farther away. It looked a lot like this, or a lot like that shot that we had just seen. It looked a lot like that, and I was like, thinking to myself as I was watching that movie, I was like, how do I get that shot? How do I get that shot for my videos? And so I was thinking, I was like, okay, GoPro on the end of a stick, which is just an extendable GoPro arm, with a wide lens. And sure enough, I tried it out one day, and it worked, and I was so psyched about it, dude. And so from then on, I was like, bro, we gonna do it. It was super awesome. So that was how I was inspired to get that shot, was Beverly Hills Cop. If anybody, that's a little fun fact of the day. Dog, becoming a film buff may be in your future. I'm just a nerd at heart, man. I just be into these things, bro. This is they say YouTube is the entryway to, like, film, but honestly, like, YouTube is just its own big thing. Like, if I never get into like film and like making movies, I'm cool. I'm just cool making YouTube videos, bruh. There's so many great camera shots in movies that are unnoticed. Yes, underrated works too, Brent. You corrected it, but underrated works just the same. Like, you take it as a general viewer, you take things for granted, but it's when you start paying attention and like asking questions, like how did they get that shot? That's when it gets good, because then you're like, I can make that happen. Like, that's what I said. I saw that shot and I was like, I like that. I'm going to make that shot happen. And so I was like, alrighty. After the movie was over, I'm like, alright, I guess I'm going to get the GoPro, go outside, play with it. That was the same time I did the lightsaber thing, just for fun. I pretended the GoPro was a lightsaber. It actually looked really cool. Okay, let's get back in the action. Got like 3 minutes left of the video. Bum, bum, bum.
So, it is 12:15 p.m. We have officially been vlogging with only the GoPro for 24 hours. So obviously I had some goals set to achieve within this 24-hour period. I used every single mount that
Okay, I wanna address this as well. This is what's called, it's very rough. I didn't do it very well. I mean, I actually don't know. I shouldn't say that because it actually looks pretty cool. But this is what's called a match cut. So what it is,
24 hours. So obviously I had some goals set to achieve within this 24-hour period. I used
So I have the same shot setup, but all the mounts are in the center. So it's like the background is relatively similar. It's all the same background pretty much. but what's in the foreground is different. So it's gonna jump rapidly.
Every single mount that I have.
That's what's called a match cut. You're matching what's in the foreground every time, each cut, but the background stays relatively similar.
So obviously I had some goals set to achieve within this 24-hour period. I used every single mount that I have. Some were harder than others because a lot of them do the same.
It's really effective, and people use it a lot with like faces and stuff. Like there's a Mr. Beast video where it happens. I think it's one where he cures blindness or deafness or something. And you know, you get a cut of like, it's rapid cuts, but it's everybody's face. Like all these different people from all over the world. And it shows that they're, you know, it essentially shows that they're all the same, but like they all look different. And it's really cool because like it's a super effective tool. Again, we take for granted as viewers. We just take it for granted because we just assume, oh, it looks cool, but we never picture how that's actually done.
Things, but it's about being creative and figuring out ways to use.
So I wanted to do that. One of my goals was I wanted to do that particular match cut in this video, with all the camera mounts. So I had the overhead set up, and I was shooting down, and I had everything in that middle third. So like the rule of thirds, there's a grid of 9 squares, and I wanted everything to at least be in the center square. That way I can match it up real easy, and it worked out pretty well, I think.
Use these particular mounts and make it different. I also used every single feature on the GoPro HERO11, except for one. I didn't get to use star trails, which is really
also down here in the left-hand corner is archive footage. I didn't record this the same day.
Disappointing because I wanted to do it overnight. Problem was, it was cloudy and stormy all night, so you couldn't see any stars at all. But other than that, to my knowledge, I used every single feature. And another one of the rules for the challenge was I had to be creative. And
I'm like, I need to quit spending money there for a while because I just bought this fucking PC, but one of my next things I want to get is the GoPro Media Mod, which is like a microphone attachment. Because I would love to use the GoPro where I can actually use the audio and it's not terrible. Like the audio, I didn't have that much trouble, but like it's annoying to have to make sure the audio on the GoPro is loud enough and like good enough for this situation.
I think, to the best of my knowledge, I've done that. I think I've been really creative. You'll have to let me know what you guys think. And finally, one of the goals was to come up with a shot that I've never seen before with the GoPro. And there's several that I did throughout this video that I personally have never seen before. However, that doesn't mean that shot doesn't exist. Because when it comes to being perfectly original,
it is, okay, the whole last couple of minutes of this video are actually really cool. I was super happy with how it came out because the whole video, it was sort of just like I'm gonna vlog with the GoPro for 24 hours and see what happens, but it turns into this really big, like, valuable thing. I was not expecting it to do that, but the lesson I literally in this recording, this last couple of minutes, I figured out what the video was about in that moment. Like I was sitting here talking about, I was like, oh yeah, this video, I may not have succeeded in this quote-unquote challenge, but I learned and I got creative, and it really pushed me to do things that I've never done before, which I think was the whole point. And it's one of those things you don't really know until the end. So if you watch to the end, you really get the value, which is cool.
Making something that nobody has ever seen before. Nowadays, it's extremely hard because of all the access that everyone has. Everyone has access to the same cameras, to the same equipment, to the same skills, essentially. But something that people don't always have access to is creative ideas. Everyone in the whole entire world has their own unique creative ideas. The tricky part comes in where you try to come up with something completely original. You know, you can watch YouTube all day long. You could look at a bunch of different creative GoPro shots that people get, but it's really hard, borderline impossible, to get something that you know without a shadow of a doubt that is completely 100% new.
This is a funny idea. You know, it's funny in an ironic kind of way, or like a huh kind of way. Cause like they're really in anymore, and just in general, it's so hard and it's so uncommon and improbable that you can actually come up with something original. And you know, on one hand, that sounds kind of discouraging. It's like, oh yeah, there's no point doing anything anymore because like everything's already been thought of. But it's not that at all, because it goes from a point of coming up with original ideas to everyone has their own set of inspirations. Like person X is inspired by XYZ, and then person Y is inspired by ABC. So like everybody's inspired by different things, and everyone is influenced by different things in a different combination of things. So you're going to get a lot of stuff that is very similar, but also you're going to get a lot of things with all these infinite combinations of inspirations that you're going to have an infinite amount of things that can be created because of different inspirations and different people that are influenced by the things. Like, it's such a cool thing to think about. Like, 100% originality isn't necessarily a thing. It's more so who or what you're influenced by, and how you make that into the world.
So did I fail the challenge? I don't think so. And let me tell you why. Maybe I didn't get something original. Maybe I did not get a shot that was 100% unique that nobody's ever seen before.
Hell of a point for real, sir.
But what I did do is step out of my comfort zone. For lack of a better term, it forced me to be more creative. It forced me to take this little camera right here and do things with it that I've never done before. Maybe they exist on the internet, I don't know. But I've never done it before. There's a lot of things that I haven't done. And it really challenged my creative vision, and it really challenged what my limits are. It challenged what I can do and what shots I can get. So for all the creative people out there, do something that pushes your creative limit. Because with this experiment and what I've learned is that there's a lot more that I can do cinematically to improve my videos just by spending an extra few seconds to come up with a more creative and effective angle. Because in this life, in general, and as a creative person, there are so many things that we have yet to discover that are completely discoverable if we...
Oh yeah, Brent, the road shot, the vehicle lights, that's so awesome.
Just slightly change what we have yet...
This is something I had to add to the end. I was almost done, but I had to add this. This is a thing. Where I talk about, it's the same as a creative as it is in life. You can never create new things, or you can never change anything if you don't first change your perspective. Like, that's a nod to just things, people in general, where, you know, in any part of life where people are so unwilling to see a different perspective or to change. People are so stuck in their ways or unwilling to see things from another lens. And so this is a nod to that. It's like, hey, this is how we change things, is by seeing things from a different light, from a different angle that you may not be, you know, you may not see it from that way, but being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes or in a different perspective makes your horizon so much more broad, because you can see things from all these different angles.
To discover that are completely discoverable if we just slightly change our perspective.
And thank you to the patrons for supporting and being amazing and watching the bloopers and all the fun things. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it. I'll go back here. Okay. The setup is awesome. I'm psyched about it. I'm loving the way I've got it, like, right here. It's just a slight angle change, but I think it looks a lot better because I'm looking more head on. Like, webcam's here, monitor's here. Also, webcam's crooked, I just realized. It is what it is. It's a Walmart tripod. What do you expect? I have very low standards for things of that nature, but you know, it's cool. It's the thought that counts. Son of a gun. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. It'll live. Another terrific video followed by a banger director's commentary, brother. You already know what to do. And look at that, we've crossed an hour. Perfect. Perfect. It's perfect. It works out too because I really have to go to the bathroom. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been super fun, super epic, super fun. GTB just doesn't miss. Let's go. I want to get back in the flow of making shorts. I'm just not mentally there yet. I'm not ready for it. Cause part of me wants to. I don't know. I go back and forth with it, but shorts are something that I'm gonna get back on at some point. I just need a little break from it to figure it out and figure out what I want to do with them going forward and how I want to do it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate every one of you hanging out with me and checking it out. Let me nerd out with the video. But I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't yet, check out the new video. And if you want to watch it again, by all means, watch it again. And go back with a new lens of like, hey, I watched the director's commentary. Now I can appreciate it from the filmmaker's perspective. I don't know. In case you want to, that's always available. Oh wow, the current bitrate is higher than the recommended bitrate. Wow, that's wild. So I'm streaming too good. But anyway, guys, I gotta go to the bathroom. Thank you, sir.